That's a real.
Hey, flipping. You know that? These guys are sick. Cut. Play back. And 3, 2, 1. Yes. Okay. Right. Cool. I found myself on YouTube. Yeah.
You found yours on YouTube.
Let me. I say so. I don't like you, man. Let me finish.
I can't lie to you. Every week you start it with something so outlandish.
Let me finish.
That you throw us off.
Let me land first.
Let me land.
You should be even used to it, man. Let me land, man. Let me land.
Sorry,
I found myself. Oh, we got jokes today.
Wow. I see people are acting today. I thought you got me today.
No alcohol in the house, apparently.
Man,
send it last drop.
Yo, go.
You're right, you're stroke.
Man, them got a little bit of colour in their wardrobe. Want to be talking big now.
Fine point.
Just muted.
That was a good decision.
Anyway. Wait, let me get back to my thing.
Go on. Man. Go on.
Nah, that was mad.
I said, man, there's gonna be a colour.
Are we ready to get food?
Man wouldn't laugh on sport. Man wouldn't laugh on sport mode. I've been laughing at Let me see.
Man, I just rubbed that laugh.
Myself on YouTube.
So,
wait. I got tears in my eyes now. I got bright.
Okay, we'll be serious.
So when I say I found myself, as in I was watching YouTube videos. You know when you're just lost on YouTube? And then I forgot whose channel I was on, but they were talking about like,
Oh shit.
it might have been chicken connoisseur, you know. They were talking about chicken shops, innit? So
I don't know what he's laughing at.
I've been trying to ignore it, really. Hold on. But
Come on, get out, bro.
No wait, I need to wipe my eyes, fam.
people are laughing.
That's why I can't remember it. Listen, y'all thought it was over?
Wait.
Y'all turns over.
Wait, time out. Everyone get out.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean?
Everyone get out.
Oh, a bit of colour. What does that mean?
Because obviously he's got a bit of pink on the thing. The confidence is high. But what I was gonna say was, what was your go-to, like, you know, like back in school days, Dixie's, chicken and chips, Sam's, all of that stuff. What was your go-to meal?
Oh, bro. I'll go to meal.
Like, what was like your go-to, like,
shop?
Yeah, like when you went to go get chicken and chips and that. What was your go-to?
I was just chicken and chips. No?
3 rings and chips, bro.
3 rings and chips.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Yeah, 3 wings and chips and orange Miranda.
I like that. Specific.
You have to know.
Nah, the Miranda.
No.
There's a strawberry.
The Miranda is there, bro.
What was yours?
I like strawberry as well.
I can't lie. After school, I had £1 left. I had to make a choice.
That's a tough choice.
Chicken and chips or a drink and something. Yeah. I had to make a choice. I don't know. Depending on how I felt.
My thing was 3 wings and chips, chicken burger and
You were rich, really.
Hey, you had these.
No, I
You had £30 school dinner.
No, I'd save it. That would be on like a Thursdays.
Okay,
So I would eat on Tuesday and Wednesday. So Thursday.
My rations so I can eat more.
When did you order this?
When I ordered this.
Because he went on. You know the days I ordered it? When I had training, when I had basketball training. After basketball training, I went ham, bro. I went ham.
Okay.
Oh, man said.
Or like, this was my favorite one. Who remembers Sam's 2 for 2?
Dixie.
They used to be like two burgers.
2 burgers, 2 chips.
Yeah.
That thing was
For how much?
£2.
£2.
Two burgers, 2 chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 burgers.
Yo, I don't know what's going on today here.
2 burgers.
But yeah,
Game Master, today's gonna be
Game
long, you know.
Master.
Today's gonna be long.
Long, oh my days.
The thing is, we're not even know.
Flipping.
I promise you, this is actually water, you know.
That's the mad thing. This is still water. I'm even mad like this.
Water.
You got games today?
We're going to be humbled now anyway with the game. You won't be laughing anymore.
We're gonna laugh at everything.
Yeah, big man.
though. Listen, how good is everyone at spelling though?
This is quite good.
Actually, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You know what that's funny? Because he set up his joke that he's gonna say. Now if he gets it wrong, exactly, because he's learning the joke.
He's getting any sort of blame for himself, bro. You're gonna set up a joke.
You're to be like, yeah.
I'm just as good as everyone here. I'm just as good as everyone here.
Wait, hold on. Let's
Who's going first?
Ibs.
Ibs,
Yeah, Ibs. No,
I
Ibs
went
is the
first
man.
last week, so it don't make sense.
Okay,
Cool, we'll go from Iman.
We go from Iman.
and then we go clockwise.
No, this way.
Clockwise.
Cool, spell auxiliary.
AUXI
It's easy, apparently. Yeah? Which one?
ERY.
No, LLARY.
Mess up.
Wait there.
You're
To finish his.
Don't finish
But
his.
you-
I told you he's good at spelling, fam.
No.
Was his one right?
Yeah, it was
Where
right.
I am, come
I
on.
don't know what it was.
cool.
there.
No, you're answering.
I studied numbers in it, so
Yeah, he's my mathematician.
You're answering his one. Let's see what you do on your own.
No, that's past my own. That's past now.
Okay.
Don't go and look for a mad one
Tough one.
on purpose.
that was easy.
Hopefully, I can even say the word, boy, because this thing.
If you can't say, then move to another one.
Cool. Entrepreneur.
That's a good one.
Entrepreneur.
That's a good one.
ENTRE. Entrepreneur. I always mess up at this bit.
Okay.
ENTRE.
Yeah.
No, I want to know if it's purring or pooing. Purr or purr. Entrepreneur.
Be spelling.
I know the end. The end is NEUR. Just leave that one.
So
Park that one.
basically, measure.
Park that. No, it is. Park that one. Entre. ENTRE. Purr. No, this was really messy.
Go for it.
Entrepreneur, because I am one as well. So I must know what I am.
Word.
Okay, let's go with this one. Okay. ENTREP.
Yeah.
No, I can't lie. Is there not a time?
I can't lie.
Got time.
No. Okay. ENTREPE.
Keep going. Yeah.
I fuck up.
Mess up.
I know. I'm messing up.
All of that display to just mess up.
I know.
I said purr.
You got me.
Ooh. Occasionally.
Why are you giving them the easy ones?
OCCASION.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
ALLY.
What? That's unfair, man.
Thank you.
We got our first one right.
That's easy.
Sorry, lads.
They're too.
Oh, like man, I failed them. So.
Go camouflage.
Yeah, that's calm. You got that.
No,
Camouflage. You got that.
Come on. Camouflage.
You got that.
Okay. CAMOF. Huh? CA. Yeah.
You fool. This guy's a dickhead. Yeah, he's like, no, let me mess up.
CAMOFLAUGE. Perfect.
Yeah.
Wrong.
SB Live.
Wrong.
You were very confident.
That was a dickhead.
He was like, yeah.
You took the piss. And do it again.
CAMOFL.
That is a piss.
AUGE.
Nah.
There's an O in there.
Yeah.
It's alright.
It's alright.
What was it? OA or AO?
Bro, I couldn't spell auxiliary. It's alright.
CAMOUFLAGE.
Cool.
What's my own?
Entrepreneur. Nah, bruv, I'm still on this.
It's alright. Ibs.
Okay, we got one for Ibs. Okay, smarty pants. What we got for this smarty pants? Spell sentences.
Oh, come on, man. What is that, bruv? He's in year 2. Give him another one, man. Give him another one. What is that?
You have to reload that one.
That's like saying spell and, bro.
That's the one I got.
No. That's not fair.
That's the one I got.
As a man, you shouldn't want to take that.
Wait, take what's
No.
Wait, don't shade him.
That's an insult.
Don't.
Sentences, bro.
That doesn't mean you should shade him.
Sentences.
Wow.
No,
It's feeling very toxic.
Sentences.
Very toxic.
Camouflage,
This is very toxic right now. Very toxic.
Because you go flipping occasionally.
Bloody. And I spelled it right. Connoisseur.
Yeah.
That's okay, think about it. That's not bad.
It's French. Let's go.
Break it up.
It's French.
Connoisseur.
Sure. I'm giving you
Please break it down for us.
connoisseur.
No mess up, please.
You can do it by the syllables if you want.
Nah, it's back up. I can see it.
No, this one is second.
Real talking here.
Let's put time on this thing.
Real talk.
Can give him an hour.
1 minute.
Countdown.
No, 1 minute. 20 seconds.
Wait.
Forgive me.
C-O-N.
Is it double N or single?
Bro, it gets like that.
Before the French fan. Okay, C-O-N, yeah.
C-O-N-O.
Oh.
Keep going.
Mess up.
This time's up.
No, nearly.
C-O-N-O.
Yeah.
You got like 5 seconds, bro.
You said S. He's fine up.
Yeah, he's
He's
messed
ready,
up.
Mess up. Where is it?
messed up.
How you spell it?
I even forgot the word.
How you spell it?
C-O, yeah.
O-S.
N-O-I.
Double S-E. Yeah.
O-I.
Are you trying to race me or something? Man said double I.
It's a French word.
That's the one.
So Michael won that. Not double.
No, he didn't. I don't agree.
No, I think you're the only one in there, right?
But man got
Let me
occasionally.
give Ola one.
Let's give Ola one.
But that's
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's
occasionally.
Ola one. Huh?
Occasionally. Come on, my guy.
Let me see the one you want to give him.
What did you
sit down.
Yeah, no, 100, bro. I didn't know I was involved in this.
Oh, you have to be.
Okay, alright.
You must be.
I'm gonna
Give him a Yoruba
I'm gonna
word,
give him
bro.
this one.
I said give me a
Yoruba.
That's easy. Give him this one.
I'm from Ghana.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's
Spell
actually easy.
cantankerous.
Oh, come on, man.
You saw that before as well.
Yeah, go on.
I got it right actually, so you should remember what I said
Oh
to
yeah,
you.
C-A-N-T-A.
Fuck up. No, I'm joking. Still go.
C-A-N-T-A-N-K.
Yeah.
E-R-O-U-S.
Yeah. But it's because I spotted it before.
I like, man.
Jeez, give him another one.
No, but you definitely saw the one before.
No, I spotted it to him before.
No, yeah, because he asked it.
So you remembered it.
What, so you spelled it?
I'm
ready
here,
to
though.
him before.
I'm here,
So
though.
you knew.
I lost it.
So technically, that doesn't count.
Oh, my nigga,
But cool.
let's go, man.
Flipping. You see how like we're all doing banter, yeah? And we're all having a laugh or whatnot. Like, when it gets to serious stuff, like, to what extent do we hold each other accountable? Like, so in as much as like everything can be light-hearted, jokey within friends and whatnot, like, if you see your guy doing a madness, how quick are you to like pull him up, be like, bro, you're moving nuts? Because there's a reason I'm saying this. How quickly?
Oh, so this I get. Sorry, based on what though?
Like, let's say you saw me like out one time and I was just moving like mad, like
Hitting a girl or something.
I don't want to put
Cheating.
a definition on it. It could be whatever, but I don't want to put like a specific like act on it, but just behaving inappropriately or out of character, or whatever you want to describe it as. How quickly are you to put me up on that?
This is. No, you go. I think it's hard because determining what bad or wrong is depends on the person's morals and how you view certain things. So I'm gonna say this: like, I might view drinking excessively as a bad thing to me morally, and I might find it as a bad thing to do. But if I see you doing it, doesn't mean I should correct you on that. So that's why sometimes I get a bit. That's the basis that I need to define first, because that's why I struggle to call people out on their shit sometimes. Because I'm more like thinking, okay, is this just for my benefit? Is it just what's wrong to me, or is this just generally wrong? Obviously, there's things that are generally wrong. But the reason why I hesitate to hold people to account at times is like, is this just my moral compass and it's just not yours?
What are you gonna say?
That's
No, he wouldn't
that's
say
our
that.
first basis.
first one.
before I-
Yeah,
before
no.
have that
I think
conversation.
I kind of agree with that, because sometimes it's hard to sort of judge exactly like what is right and wrong. However, I also feel like there are some times where you know that the decision someone's making could either lead them down a path of, I don't know, like hurt, whether it's emotionally or physically, or you just sort of have seen things in the past that might sort of, you might not necessarily want to sort of tell them so that you're telling them off, but sometimes, you know, wisdom in it, like it's just a word for the wise sort of thing, like, oh, you know, bruv, you know what I mean? So sometimes, depending on what you've seen in the past and how you've seen things play out, like when people do certain things, from that perspective, you can also just be like X, Y, and Z. So I think, yeah, that's what I would use. Not necessarily trying to tell someone, oh, this is right, this is wrong, but for me, it's just, I've seen certain things in the past and how they've played out. You know what, bro, maybe less, you know what I mean? So from that perspective, obviously, it's his choice or her choice to listen to me or not, but yeah.
I think it's a very hard judgment on when to pull up your friend. I think what Shegs is alluding to is more enforcing your morals on someone else, in which I don't think you should do. You know, if you think, I don't agree with this person, I don't know, smoking, and you see them smoking, that's their life choice. They're their own man. But there's certain things I think, as a friend, iron sharpens iron. I think you have a duty of care towards your friend. So, for instance, if my friend is in a relationship or is doing a certain thing or a certain business, and I know the way he's acting is contrary to his usual way of being, or is contrary to what he's building or has built, then in those instances, I think I should pull him up. So, for instance, example, if my friend has, I don't know, he's engaged and he's due to get married, and we go to a lad's holiday, and I see he's moving a bit mad with a girl, that type of instance, I think I have a duty of care for him, because the first thing people will ask, if he does whatever and he ruins his situation, is, where was his friends? You know, kind of thing. So I think there are certain instances where we owe a duty of care to our friends, and staying silent, you're complicit. Then at the end of the day, you basically agreed with what he's doing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Can I just add one more thing? I think for me, it's just like, sometimes it's not necessarily like trying to tell someone off, but sometimes it's just getting it out there. Because sometimes some people just don't know that what they're doing might be a mad thing or not, do you know what I mean? So sometimes it's not even raw, like, bro, what you're doing is so wrong. It's just, bro, did you know that this is the thing? And it's like, oh shit, like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes people like have that, and sometimes they might already, but yeah, sometimes it's just bringing things to someone's attention, you know?
What about you, H?
For me, I think, I don't know, it's very case by case. Like, I agree with what Shegs and Lizzie and Iman said, everyone said so far. I feel like there isn't like a blanket standard you can use to say, bro, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that type thing. I feel like it's about knowing your friend, like knowing what they kind of stand for as well as a person.
Yeah.
And just kind of helping them maintain their own kind of moral standard. Like, if I know you've given me a word on certain things you don't necessarily like to practice or do, and then one day I start to see you kind of go off track on that, then I'll be like, bro, like, I'll go on, like, do you understand? Like, there's a way to go about certain things. I feel like the delivery is just as important as the kind of pulling up or the correction as well.
Yeah.
So there's two separate type of things you'd pull your friend up on, like something whereby maybe they're doing something that's like a bit kalam personally. So maybe let's just say you start drinking excessively now, and I've never known you for doing that. That could affect your health now. I'm gonna ask you, like, bro, like, what's going on? Maybe there might be an underlying factor behind why you're drinking more now. Do you understand? So that's more of a delicate discussion I might have to have with you and be like, okay, cool, something might be going on here. Approach it with caution type thing. If you're maybe now cheating on your girl, like that one, I might be a bit harsher in the sense of like, bro, like, you're messing up, you know, like, you got a good thing going. Like, I'll talk to you. I'll still try and understand. Not really much to understand, but I'll like, do you know what I'm saying? I'll probably grill you more on that side type of thing. But yeah,
But to add to that, if it's something that you've corrected your friend on and they continue to do it, where do you draw the line from? I can't, like, you're your own man. I've tried.
That was going to be my next point, because what everyone was saying was more along the lines of, if you're behaving
out of character? What if this is your character? What if you
Has
are
become your character?
Yeah. What if you're the person that's an excessive drinker? What if you're the person whose character is a cheater? How do you pull up that person?
And I guess that comes back to like the original point I made, where I'm quite scared to confront someone in that, because it's like, how can I tell you how to live your life? You know what I mean? I can only advise you and only like give you some bearings as to, you know, as H said, I think it was H that said earlier, that the results as to where you can get to in the future, what it can impact you, but who am I to tell you how to live your life? Because there might be certain things I do in my life that I might deem okay and I'm comfortable with, and I consider the consequences. And if someone came to tell me that, you know, that's a wrong way to live your life, it wouldn't be a good conversation. And another thing I always think about to myself is, when I'm trying to call someone out, is it more for my conscience? In terms of, is it for me to feel better that I've addressed the situation? Is it because I feel better because I've called that person out on what they are doing? Or is it a case of, I want this what's best for this individual? And I feel like when you start to see when you can pull that away and say, okay, cool, I want the best for the individual, then sometimes you end up just saying, okay, you know what, I'll let you go to wherever you're going, I'll support you, whatever. And if it does get to that consequences at the end of the day, I'll still be there for you.
The reason I started this conversation off so broad, and I didn't want to put like a specific behavior in it, was I was having a conversation with a female friend, and I'm pretty sure we've all had our female friends confide in us about, or just like women in our lives in general, on the rate at which like they get harassed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like nearly every like female friend I have at one point or the other has been a victim of some sort of sexual harassment, or, you know, be it from like family or like friends or something like that. And I'm like, between us, we know that's a behavior that's not on. But then why is it something that's so prevalent? Why is it that a lot of women can harken back to a particular occasion or an incident where they felt unsafe or they felt like powerless? Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So once we start narrowing it down based on behavior, I feel like, because you set the point of are you doing it because of your conscience, or because of you want to actually see the person behave in the correct way? But does that matter in the face of injustice? So wouldn't both points want you to address this or speak up?
Yeah. So I kind of like to answer your question and to go off some of the back of what Shegz said. Like when you sort of bring that sort of side into it, then I feel like it's not a question of necessarily just letting it sort of slide. I feel like then you have to ask yourself whether you can see yourself growing with this individual, because obviously like there's only so much, like Shegz said, there's only so many times you can tell somebody what you're doing isn't right. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you continue to see a certain trait, I feel like after a while you can't tell someone how to live their life, as Shegz says. But then it's up to you to then decide whether you want to still associate with that energy or with those vibes, knowing what you know already. If you know that it's not like a out of character thing and this is just the person's character. Now it's a personal choice for you to say it's hard. Obviously, but it's a personal choice for now for you to say whether you not even on a negative thing like just on a, you know, the energies you're on aren't the energies I'm on, so I might have to distance myself because I've tried and it's not like that. So, you know, you have to put some space into it. That's how I would address that issue. But at the same time, I don't feel like it should necessarily stop you just because, like, in the face of injustice, I feel like, yeah, something should still be said, because at the end of the day, it's to protect, you know?
Yeah, I think.
No, come, bro.
I think I agree with Iman. At that point, it's not about my friend anymore.
Yeah.
At that point, it's about the woman on the other side of that thing being hurt. So regardless of whether it's for my personal feelings or to change their life, that if I see someone's being treated in an unfair manner, I will do my utmost to, you know, help that person. So if I can see my friend is catcalling or, you know, trying to harass a woman, I will be pulling them up. Regardless, and it wouldn't even be to help their character at that point in time. It will be to protect that woman. Why do I think it still goes on? Why do I feel some men still harass women? Well, I think it's because a lot of us men are ignorant. I think a lot of us don't know what sexual harassment is. I think a lot of us feel it's just normal behavior. I feel like some of the things we deem normal, so seeing a girl on the road and, you know, looking back at her, trying to check her out, I think we think these things are normal. When you break these things down and you see how it affects women in terms of them being perceived as just objects, like statues, being just things that you feel like you can look at, and
Objects of pleasure.
And I've never ever. It takes, especially when it comes to speak to your female friends. When you speak to your female friends and they break it down, it's like, what gives a man the right to look at me to delight himself?
Wow.
What,
say that again.
What gives you that
That's
right?
mad.
What gives you that right to look at me on the street and be able to look at me in that way? Like, what gives you that right? And for us, all of us have been a lot of us probably been doing it since we're young kids, like young, and it's just normalizing our minds. But when you see the impact it has on women, because when we're doing it, you don't really realize how the woman perceives it, because she can see you looking at her. She can see the way you're perceiving her in that moment, and she's like, you don't see me as maybe she might be a hairstylist, she might be this, she might be someone completely. You just perceive her as her assets, which is actually really.
No, I just want to ask Shegs, do you think that is a combination of guys not being accountable to one another and pulling each other up on such behaviour, or do you think as men naturally we just don't appreciate that this falls under harassment, this falls under objectifying?
That's a good question.
I think it's the latter. I think it's because we don't appreciate that it comes under sexual harassment. I think for those who do know, I think those people are not doing a great job of actually having a conversation with their friends. Because if I saw any of us do it now, I'd be like, bro, like,
That's what I was going to
it's gonna be, she can see it that way. So it's more about, if we have that education and we see people doing it, we should say something.
I think one thing I want to add on to what you're saying is that I don't just think that man didn't think it's normal. I think that they think their sort of approach is isolated as well. Because I think for me, the biggest thing between being a guy and a girl, deep it, bro, you can look 100%, you can look 100%, you can look 100%. You walk down the street.
I want to look 100%.
Bro, you look 100%.
Why did you stop at him? Nah,
I don't want to just go.
Bro, my head don't leave, bro. Wait, hold on. What happens as well?
Bro, don't worry.
I have a trim.
110% even, bro.
Nah, don't
with the
do
white forces. No, but the point I'm trying to make is, man, then we can look 100%, but you're almost 100% sure also that no one's gonna try to talk to you, right? Girl, no, wait, no. Let's be honest. Yeah, generally speaking. Or are we saying that every time you step out, people are trying to chat to you?
Nigga, I'm cute.
So I'm just trying to be honest, right? Let's be serious, right? So when you step out 100% of the time, even if you're looking at more time, no one's really gonna try and.
No one's
when girls step out, even just 30%, there's a percentage that someone's gonna. And I'm talking about that's. Wait, and that's every single day for their whole life. So when I say for us, it's not even that we think it's not, it's that we think it's isolated. So imagine, today you have that. Tomorrow, you think you're being flattering. To them, it's like, brother. To them, it's like, brother. Do you understand? And then obviously, like, it's like one of those ones where obviously you think you're being that, and to them, it's probably, so it's like that sort of understanding that, bro, did you get it? Let them have their peace, It's not,
But what about the ones that want it though?
But then, I mean,
Wait, no, wait, time out. We gotta let him break that one down. I don't want you to be like, but then ask a question, and then it's misconstrued, and then all of a sudden the hashtag cancel SB live. All of a sudden it's hashtag cancel SB live. Bring that one down.
Obviously not verbally saying it, but obviously you're wearing what you want. Obviously, cool. Girls can wear what they want. Yeah. But there are girls that do it.
No, do you know what it is? It's all in your approach first and foremost. It's all in your approach first and foremost. But at the same time though, even still though, I can't lie. You will never know. It's a trial and error situation.
You know what?
So
I get what you're trying to say. So correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. What you're trying to say is there are a certain category of women who like a more
who want the attention.
Not that they want a guy to touch them or speak to them, but they like a more forward approach from a man. So
they're a bit more inviting.
So they'll prefer a man who has confidence in their approach as opposed to a more passive man.
I'm not even
saying. So you're saying what about girls that fall within that category that want a forward approach? Where does that guy now draw the line from being forward and what you like to
ones that don't
to the harassment kind of category?
I've got an example. I've got a sense.
I'm not even saying like don't talk to girls or like talk to. I'm just saying like have that understanding that
100%.
your approach isn't an isolated occasion. This is something that, do you know what I mean? So then when you're approaching it, there's a way you should approach it. There's a way. And if you see the situation and you think about, like I said, this is not an isolated situation. Do I really want to bother her? Do I really want to give her this energy? Do I really? Alright, cool. Unless she's been giving you the eyes and she's saying, yeah, like, come. Of course, then obviously you can step, but if not, then
I think the two are a bit different, though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
With like the point you're making in terms of like guys approaching girls, I feel like that's gonna happen. I think females are probably, or girls, I'm not saying females, sorry. Girls have accepted that that's gonna kind of happen. But I think the point that Mike was more so trying to make is that like where guys are being inappropriate in the way they actually approach women. I think is that where we need to kind of check ourselves.
I think even we need to bring it back in. I think it's approaching in general.
Yeah, it's like I'm saying. Even approach.
Wait, time out. I want to understand that. So wait, I don't understand that. Are you saying we shouldn't approach?
No.
Okay.
But you should gauge.
Wait, hold on.
Let me be very honest here. Let's be very clear on this here. I feel like it's just what we've normalized. That's what we perceive as the right way to approach women. I think a majority of women you probably sit down and talk to don't necessarily like being approached on the road. A lot of women, most of them don't like being approached on the road. So if it was a social setting where you're in a party or an event, I think that's totally different. But if you're on the roadside on a normal casual day, a woman's going about her business.
You made it specific, bro. Approach is approach. It could be we're in a setting. It could be.
Can I just give you the caveat? Harassment actually stems with persistence. So let's
not go with the definition of persistence.
No. But deep it. If it is
persistent because you keep saying, "Hey, you're my size."
Hold on. If I go up to, let's say Mike was a girl, and I go up to her, "Hi, what are you saying? What's your number?" And then she's like, "Sorry, bam," and I leave. I haven't really harassed her because I tried to engage in a conversation. She's brushed me off. If I said, "No, why are you moving mad?" Like, I'm now starting to harass her. So, because what you're saying is very difficult because everything will fall under harassment then. Just disturbing anyone on the road is harassment.
Some girls might not like that though.
Yeah. No, I understand. But then that's where the wisdom in a man to move away in that situation.
Hold on. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back because I feel like everyone's making good points, but I'm still trying to understand something because my thing is so my point is more. So you sort of took it deeper in terms of looking at it at its core. I was more focusing on like overt harassment.
Okay.
But now let's even go on what you were just saying. I'm sort of agreeing with this in terms of in as much as men we need to hold ourselves accountable to a higher standard in how we treat women and in our actions. We also don't want to overdo it. And what I mean by overdo it, get to a point where we become so PC that we now no longer know what's acceptable and things that should be normal is now unacceptable because everyone's scared and worried about.
Awkward.
Yeah, it's just awkward. Because my thing is a large part of communication is non-verbal.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, first of all, there's a general consensus for the most part. How many times does a girl move to you? Not many. More time, as guys, we're the ones that will approach.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, us approaching is not a problem. And that's why what he said in terms of the persistence
I don't think it's for us. Let me just say one thing very clearly. It is not for us as men right now.
And you're right.
Subjective to what someone feels is harassment.
It's true.
Let me just say the point very clearly. It is not for us as men to determine if that is right or wrong.
100%.
Let's just be very clear about that.
No. I agree. But okay, cool. Let me give you some instances to which I think it is crazy. So like I've had like female friends tell me they were scared. So they're out in a shopping mall or whatever. They were scared to go to the car park because there was a group of guys. One of them wanted to move to her, and the rest were following her.
That's harassment.
And the car park was dark, and she's like, "Bruv, you know what? You could have my number. Just leave me alone."
Well, you know,
that's mad. Like, hold on. There's been instances where, like, in the club, girls have said, "Oh yeah, the guy was just grabbed my bum." That's a madness to me personally. Like, if I saw one of you man do it, I'd be so baffed because one, you've never exhibited that sort of behavior. But I would just, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, do you know what I'm saying? So those are the ones where I'm like, like, we're having this conversation trying to be progressive, but the disparity in what some other men think is acceptable is shocking. Very alarming. Like, where is that disconnect? That's why I'm trying to understand that.
Okay, I'm not one of those men, so it's gonna be hard for me.
So for me, I'm not necessarily saying that like you shouldn't approach, like you said, like you shouldn't take away, like you should take away or be ultra PC. But my thing is, I feel like there should be a lot of consideration like put into it before you do that sort of. And I'm not saying that men don't do that, but at the same time, I feel like a lot more men should apply more of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for me, I feel like sometimes it's easy to just feel like, raw, like, alright, cool, I see the girl, she's nice, let me chat to her, X, Y, and Z. But bro, you have to put yourself into her world sometimes, innit? And all I'm saying from that perspective is this, for example, bro, there's times where you're coming back from work as a guy, yeah? Bro, you don't want to chat to nobody, bro. You want to chill, bro. You're not in the mood for nothing. As nice as you are, as nice as you want to be, she doesn't want to talk to you, bro. And I know obviously that doesn't mean you can't approach, but for me, it's like, in that moment, depending on how you, she might not just, she might call you somebody that
just
is,
let me interject 2 seconds. But where's the line?
No, and that's why I said,
hold on, let me finish. Because the line now is,
you.
okay, cool, sliding in DMs. That might not be the first time she has someone sliding in the DMs that day.
Yeah.
Now that's a thing. So how do we police sliding in DMs now? Like, where do we draw the line? That's why I'm thinking. I feel. Again, that's the conversation we're having. Because I feel like as a guy, if I see a girl and I find her desirable, I feel like it's okay for me to be like.
That's what I call.
That's the entitlement that he's talking about.
No.
Wait. Why? Why is that entitlement?
Because you deemed her desirable and you think you can now go and talk to her.
So wait.
And invade
Wait.
her.
I want to understand this.
Yeah. This is mad to me.
What process is okay for you to find someone that you like and begin to speak?
Yeah,
to
please give me an alternative.
So this what I'll say is this: in settings where we know that is allowed are parties, events.
Says who though? You've made that.
No,
you made that rule.
Again, I haven't made that rule.
I'm not saying the same.
I'm talking about from just in terms of the conversation I have with women. Is this? They expect social engagement at a party.
What if the guy doesn't do that?
What do you mean?
What if the guy doesn't engage in parties or social events?
And that viewpoint is not a consensus for all women.
I'm not saying consensus for all women, but what I'm saying is when I talk to women, what I've heard when I've spoken to women is that at parties it's expected that someone's going to talk to you because it's a social gathering and socializing is expected. So if a guy comes up to them, they're not going to be shocked or concerned because they know when going to that party they expect to be approached. That's the first thing. When we come into the mainstream world, it's very different because those are not the rules of the play. The rules of the play is everybody go about your business, bro. And it's not a case where, imagine this, a woman is beautiful, she's stunning. If 200 men think she's beautiful in one day, is it okay for 200 men to come up to her and say, yo, babe?
And that's the point I'm
making. No. I feel like the way you... No, I don't like the connection. Hold on. I don't like the connection that he's made. I don't like the connection he's made.
I feel like H is going to say what I'm about to say.
The connection you've made is like as soon as a guy sees a woman that's nice, like automatically the approach that he's gonna take to her is gonna be like very overt and it's gonna be too much.
It's not.
But the examples that you're giving it to those kind of like extremities, and I don't feel like that's the case.
No, he didn't give it.
You are.
Mike said.
He just added a multiple. He added a multiplier effect.
Mike made a comment where he said that he says nothing wrong if he finds a woman desirable and approaching her. And I'm saying that you need to think about it in this way. Women all their lives, as Iman said earlier, every single day meet men that friends they're attractive and feel like, okay, I shouldn't move to her. And I think as a man, you need to be very considerate of that and say, okay, cool. Just because I think she's beautiful doesn't necessarily mean I can invade her privacy, her space, and even actually try and initiate a conversation with her.
That same woman that you think 200 men have probably shouted at that day, some people. No one's probably shouted them that day.
You don't know that.
Exactly. You don't know. You actually don't know.
Exactly. And this is why I bring it back to. Okay, now I want to use a different example, but like this, like I want to talk about like sexual assault a little bit here because the case where all of us have been in situations where you've had a woman that says you're engaged in something intimate. A woman says no, and you stop. Cool. There's been times I've done this before and a woman the next day said, why do you keep going? And the reason why I have this rule is when she says no, I stop. There might be ambiguity of if I kept going, she might have allowed me and she might have wanted it. I don't apply that
That's
rule.
Different. I don't want to get into that. That's different.
No, but I apply that same rule in real life. Regardless of she not 100 man might have not approached her that day, the fact that I know it could possibly have a negative impact on her, I would not engage in that behavior.
But what I would liken that to is if you approach the lady and you want to speak to her and she tells she's not interested, and if you're persistent there, you're harassing her. If you leave her alone and you go, I think that's perfectly fine.
Okay, no,
but that's what I'm say.
But one thing, do you think it's fair? But do you think it's fair for a woman to have to say no to 15, 20 men in a day? This is my point. This is my point. This is my point. Let me like, I understand what you're saying.
Based on assumptions.
But the reason why I feel like that's an assumption, because I've spoken to certain ladies as well who've said, like, I can't lie, guys don't move to me as much as you think they do. And they're paying. So
bro.
you're saying that, okay, because a girl is nice and she's attractive, you're thinking, oh, bare guys must have moved to this girl.
No, that's what I'm thinking in my head.
But that's you're basing your example off of that fact.
No,
you're saying, what if
let's bring it back.
200 guys have approached this woman?
No. Again, I'm basing off this is that if I am doing this, other people could be possibly doing this too. I'm saying to myself, is that why should I be one of the people that are approaching you? Okay,
so what about the reverse? What if the guy is nice? Is it okay for the woman to approach the guy?
That's up to the guy. That's up to the guy, because first of all, guys don't necessarily feel threatened by women.
So it's up to the guy. So it's up to each individual then.
It's how can I put it this way? For me, it's this year. Let's say if how can I explain it? I can't.
No, because with what you just said, it should be the same for guys.
No, it can't be the same because the impact women have on us as men is not the same.
Let's bring it back
as we have on women.
Let's bring it
so
back.
basically, what you're saying is, in an ideal world, it's better for women to approach men.
Yes.
Okay.
In terms of impact,
hold on. One house.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of those ones where we're gonna have to agree to disagree, because I totally disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I can't lie.
Okay, what?
I get both.
I'm not really
what do you
saying the same
disagree
thing
with?
as Shegs entirely though.
Hold on. And this is the thing, right? Is in terms of, I don't see anything wrong in approaching a woman, striking up a conversation, etc. But my thing is the persistence. So when you're coming,
Well, is it for us to determine or women to determine? That's why I get concerned.
Hold on. The thing is, I'm not thinking about the possibility of 100 guys moving to you or not. Because in the same breath, 100 guys might not have moved to you. So it's an irrelevant thing for me to think about. A lion doesn't think about whether a fox is eating today.
That's a mad.
When you apply for a job, do you think
when you apply for a job, do you think
200 people probably apply for this job?
That apply for the same role?
The motions of a woman and you apply.
Hold on.
Let me finish. This is why I'm saying I feel like it's one of those ones where the same way a woman can approach me and I can be like, no, thank you, I'm not interested. Cool, have a nice day. I feel like I should be afforded the same courtesy. Hi, my name is this.
How?
She can. Let me finish. This is what I'm saying. We're gonna agree to disagree because you see it different. You feel like it's appropriate for you to, based on what you know and the conversation you've had with your female friends. Obviously, we're using this based on the knowledge and the insight we have from
we've been exposed to
from women, and that's the conclusion you've come to because you've surmised that women feel more comfortable to be approached in social gatherings. I've also heard that, but I've also heard women say that they want to be approached. They actually don't get approached as much as you would think, and they're okay with it so long as you understand that no means no. That, for me, that is the general consensus across the board. It's not women want to be desired. Women want respectably. But respectfully. Exactly.
That's the key thing.
So let me finish. So that's the thing. If I approach you, it's me approaching you is giving credence to how beautiful you are or how you carry yourself, your aura, you have a very however you want to describe it. You have the right to turn me down. 100%. The minute I then overstep my bounds and feel slighted or my pride gets in the way, and now I'm like, do you know who I am? That's the point where it's now like, okay, cool, that's an X. But I feel like, because the thing now is, what I don't want us to do is, as a society, we now blur the lines. So now I'm going out, I see a babe that I really like,
and you can't chat to
and
her.
now I'm just like, now I'm just moving all nervous like a waste man.
Wait, that's what I was going to say in terms of what Shegs is saying. I hear it. And you're right in the sense that harassment is subjective to the individual. I could just be coming to you and I'm thinking the persistence aspect is harassment, but you just come into her, you don't know what kind of day she's got. She might feel that that's harassment. However, the practicality of that, it can never be practical because will never speak to one another. Essentially,
You won't.
like
You won't.
for me, what's
I won't
impor-
speak to
for
women.
me. For me, what's important is one, the guy's approach, and also reading the room. Like I think that is the key thing. If you're seeing a girl walking down a road in an aggressive manner, and you're saying you're my side,
She's trying to catch a train. The central line is mad, you know.
For me, in that instance, you're definitely harassing. You can see how she's walking. You can tell she doesn't want to be disturbed. However, there's certain instances where a girl seems, she seems in a happier mood. She may be just skipping away, enjoying her life. Say, hi, I see you skipping. How you doing?
I love that skip. That's a nice skip you got there.
Top of the morning, my name is
Greetings
BG,
and
blah, blah, blah.
salutations.
You know, so I think
like
the key thing, the caveat to include for what you're saying is reading a room. As men, we have to apply wisdom when they're talking to women. We have to understand that naturally we can be intimidating to women. We're naturally what we were saying, what you lot were discussing there about would it be better for women to approach men? I get what you were saying because, bruv, naturally, if a woman approaches a man, man's not scared. We won't be scared.
There's no fear.
Whereas on the other foot,
But
women.
ask 100 women that and see if they would prefer to approach the man.
I hate you. Whether they prefer or not, hold on.
Let me
Whether they
finish.
prefer or not is irrelevant. The key thing here is if a woman is walking to the shop and she sees a group of men, she's gonna be intimidated.
I've never felt threatened.
Whereas as a guy, if I'm walking to the shop and I see big, bruv,
That's why
I don't give a heck.
That's why when,
I get that, but
Yeah.
but this.
go on.
That's why when people say we should be afforded the same courtesy, I'm like, we can't be afforded
can
the same
never.
courtesy because it's not the same way.
not the same.
And that's all I'm saying is that for me, maybe because I'm tall and I'm a bit tall and dark, maybe. If I approach a woman, I could feel like, she might feel a bit. she might feel like she's a rapper.
I was looking at your
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
But she might feel a bit. So I'm calm. So I'd rather a party setting, a social setting that's calmer. Like that's what I would prefer.
If I'm honest,
Because I know the impact I could possibly have on a woman. I don't want to have that.
I'm fully on Bissy's way. For me, I wasn't necessarily like wholeheartedly going down the route of man shouldn't chat to girl. Because to me, that's like you said, it's unrealistic. Do you know what I mean? However, you should always go in with the knowledge of certain things that, like you said, just gauge it, bro. Your approach is so important, bro. And like you said, if you just see it and you just know, because like you said, there's man out there that was brought by any, I must to speak to this girl. I must to speak to this. But bro, it's like, bro, relax. Like, look at the scenario, read the room. Do you get it? So that's what I mean. Like, I don't necessarily mean don't, because at the end of the day, bro, like, yeah, sometimes you have to show the game, and I mean, but read the room, like, definitely read the room.
This is my thing, yeah, and I'm thinking more along the lines of looking at how much I've grown as a man over the years and how my mentality has changed, especially as it pertains to my interaction with women. So there were certain things that I didn't know were unacceptable when I was younger, and luckily I wasn't put in positions to test that. But now that I know, I'm a lot more informed that, right, the way I used to think then, if you were to be in a situation, you would have done a madness, you know. But that comes with education. Do you know what I'm saying? As humans, we grow and we learn. Do you know what I'm saying? So an example that I was even speaking to you about before we started the pod was when I was younger, like more time, I used to think like, right, if a girl was to say, oh yeah, come straight to the crib, it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's game on. Yeah, it's a vibe now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We know what's happening.
You know what I'm saying? It's a vibe. But now, my mentality, which has come with maturity, is no, it could just be
Chilling.
Let's play PlayStation.
Bible study.
It could be whatever. It could literally just be like, come over, let's have a good conversation, maybe dinner, whatever, and then afterwards, you go to your yard, and then it could be just he's moving crazy.
Oh my God!
I don't know, he's moving crazy with it. But you get what I'm saying. But that comes with understanding. In terms of like what would you say are like the steps in terms of saying how men should see their interaction with women so they don't cross that boundary? Because we've already touched on one saying we've already touched on one saying approach and read the room and read the room. What else do you feel like we lack on that? Should be like we need to do better at this.
Listen.
I think that's what I was going to say.
Listen.
Why'd you say listen?
Man, no, listen. If you're speaking to a girl, you should listen. Listen is not just hearing with your ears; it's also reading their body language. If you're seeing a girl's body language is trying to leave, and she's trying to exit the convo,
Bro.
and you keep on saying, "No, but come on, like, leave her alone."
Yeah.
You get it? So I think listen, read the room, and also your approach, how you approach her. If you approach a girl in a certain way, I think she'll be more receptive as well. If you're approaching as a gentleman, you're not trying to enforce anything upon her. You know that she has the option to leave at any point, and she's comfortable and not afraid or anything. I think that's always a better approach.
We're gonna say,
I'd say let things just come natural, man.
Come on.
Literally. Like, even what Sheg was saying about the socializing thing, yeah, like, just do it there or something, man. You know, I don't know what guys are on, if they're like doing it on the road or whatnot, but
It's up to them, innit?
let it be natural, man. Connection, natural,
Yeah, man.
you know, gauge the girl. Guy if you want, but
I'll say,
Hey, yo,
But yeah.
I'll say for me, there's two things I'll say I've learned. I'll say there's two things. One is entitlement.
Okay.
The mindset of entitlement is one that I've dropped a long time ago. Like, you're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled for her to give you the number. She doesn't have to drop you the snap. She doesn't have to drop you the Insta. She don't have to drop you nothing. And these are some of the conversations I'll have with my youngers. Like, bro, let it go. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, it's taken me years to build up my character now. I'm not gonna mess that up over just one little thing with some girl. Like, everyone, like, I've built this character for so long. You know, because the minute you slip one time, you're that guy now, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
And that stigma stays with you.
Bruv.
So I'm not going to build all 20 plus years of, oh yeah, Mike is, I can vouch for him. That's my don, waiting out here. Rob, you did what? That's mad.
Fact.
Yeah.
Chasing Mike. Chasing Mike.
So that's one, that's entitlement. And I feel like other one, and this one is a big one. No means no.
Nah, facts.
No actually means, and that's why I like when you were talking about with getting intimate or whatever. I actually said literally no. Even before that,
100.
if a girl says no or she moves, respect it. Don't try and force it, because once you get them wires crossed and she's telling you one
Wires,
thing,
bro.
is
Yeah,
you know, very
wires.
it's very. Nah, don't do that. Don't do
I got
that.
one thing I'll say.
What? Yeah.
Go on.
I think the biggest thing I'll say for us, that all of us that help. Wow.
It's alright. Nah, easy.
No, but you caught yourself.
You caught yourself.
So you did
You
wrong.
nearly went.
No, you did wrong.
Nearly went, but you didn't.
I respect that.
Nah, I didn't fully go. No.
I said, whoa.
I think one thing we all need to learn, yeah, and you know, for the youngers and the olders as well, is empathy, and really trying to see the world through a woman's eyes. It's almost impossible for us to do,
100.
but you have to try your best to see and perceive the world how they perceive it, and that comes with conversations, that comes with listening, that just comes to talking to people around you and reading as well, like reading on women's experiences on how they view the world and how they feel the world views them, and see the role you play in that as well. Because I swear to you, bro, when you start seeing it, I feel like I've only seen a little glimpse, and it's horrifying. I mean, it's scary. Like, I don't know how I would be able to handle like what they have to go through. Like, that's why maybe I'm a very ultra conservative person, because I feel like once I've seen that, I'm like, I can't be any contributor to that type of world.